Hey guys, it's Carly, one of your Dialogue Alley podcast co-hosts. No new episode this week. We are on a break between seasons. Season 5 starts shortly, so make sure to stay tuned. Until then, I have this wonderful oldie but goodie from our shelves that I hope you enjoy. And as always, thanks for listening. Stay magical and happy collecting.
3 up, 2 across, tap that play button 3 times, and walk through the archway into Dialogue Alley. Hello and welcome to the podcast. Dialogue Alley is a show about Harry Potter books, book translations, and all other things magical. I am Melanie from the Harry Potter collection, and with me today is Carly from All the Pretty Books.
Hello.
And Erik from Nocturne Erik.
Hello.
It's all 3 of us, guys.
I know. How neat.
It's been a bit.
It has.
Since it's been the 3 of us. How's everybody doing?
I'm well. I'm just hanging out. Getting ready for work in a little bit.
I'm
That's
also
good.
well. I'm well. I don't know.
Excellent.
I should just say, actually, I'm not okay. And then just go into a 25-minute rant.
I'm not okay, guys.
I'm actually not okay.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm glad it's all 3 of us, and we're here to talk about one of our favorite things, which is Harry Potter books and Harry Potter book translations, because the 3 of us are Harry Potter book translation collectors. So we collect all different Harry Potter books from all over the world in all different translations and all different little versions and variations, and some of us collect rare books and other special books, and we'll get a little bit more into that soon with our news. I know, a little foreshadow. But we have a pretty cool episode today because we're kind of going back to our roots a little bit and talking to you guys about books for the first time in a bit. I feel like we've been talking a lot about movies and content and stuff like that. So we're really excited to be talking to you guys about books today.
That was a fun break, though, I thought.
Yeah, it was
it's nice
fun.
to break it up.
Yeah, because we're not just Harry Potter translation collectors. I like to remind everyone that's listening often that we started collecting because we really like these books, like reading them. And, we like the content of them. So
it's fun to talk content, too.
So, yeah, it's fun to talk content. It's fun to talk movies, even if they're not always the most positive conversations. But we do love talking about them. But, yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about some books today. Yay.
Yes, big yay.
First, why don't we get into some news?
Alrighty, so we just celebrated the 25th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and that is wild to me because I feel like we were just celebrating the 20th, yesterday. And I was all excited about the 20th anniversary books that just, were coming out, and now we have the 25th anniversary book that just came out.
I feel like because of the fact that these translations came out in different years, it's like the 20th anniversary lasted several years because the 20th anniversary for different books happened different years. So
yeah,
now all of a sudden, okay, we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Philosopher's Stone, the OG book, but we won't be celebrating the 25th anniversary of Sorcerer's Stone until next year. And then all these other translations will have their 25th anniversary too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting watching, all the social media feeds and even hearing other people talk about this on other podcasts about, how happy they are that this book is 25 years old. But I don't think any of the 3 of us actually read this book 25 years ago.
No.
And I don't think many people that are posting about it actually read it 25 years ago either. So it's kind of weird. It's like we're celebrating the anniversary of something, but it's earlier than any of us were actually exposed to it.
Yeah, I didn't even read the books until, I don't even have a year to really date it, but much later than, 97.
Yeah, I read them. I mean, I read Sorcerer's Stone when it first came out because I remember it being advertised at our library. It was a huge deal, and my mom had to get on a waiting list for it. So I do remember reading Sorcerer's Stone as early as I possibly could have been reading Sorcerer's Stone, but still, that wasn't 25 years ago because Sorcerer's Stone came out after Philosopher's Stone.
Right, and I think I have mentioned before I read it in 5th grade, so I was 11, 10 turning 11, or maybe I was already 11, I don't know. But Chamber of Secrets was already out when I read the first book, so I just went right on into the second one. So
right,
it really,
and book 4 was out when I got into book 1, so I came late to the party. Yeah,
that was
I was late
book
to the
4
party.
was the first one that I caught up before book 4 came out. So I think when I was reading Chamber of Secrets, then Prisoner of Azkaban came out in the U.S. So, I kind of hit a wall after Azkaban. I had to wait. So
yeah,
it was kind of nice though, because I could read and just like, oh, I want to read the next one, and it was available. And then I was like, oh, I want to read the next one.
It's like binge watching a TV show.
It is, but I don't feel like the hype was there, but we weren't on the internet. I was a 5th grade kid, so I didn't really feel like the fanfare. It was just kind of like someone saying at school, like, oh, this book's pretty good, you should read it. I didn't get the sense that it was this, global phenomenon already,
right. Well, and what so many people was like, oh, their little friends at school were like, oh, this book is so great. And then you were so excited when your friends mentioned a book that you loved and you sat and gabbed about it for a bit. But that was about the end of it.
Right. Well, and it's not like we had a bunch of communication with people in the UK when we were that young. It reminds me, I was watching, wow, bringing something else in again, like Super Mario Bros. 3, the Nintendo game. Like, there was so much hype for that in the US. It came out almost a full year, maybe even more, in Japan.
Wow.
That it did here. But, importing things just wasn't a thing. And, globalization wasn't quite as big as it is now back in the 80s. So, people didn't even know. Like, there are people in Japan that are like, hey, I already beat it like 6 months ago. And here we are like, I can't wait. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. So I kind of feel that way about this 25th anniversary versus the Sorcerer's Stone 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
Next year.
I'm also curious if there's going to be other books, like other translations that get on board with the 25th anniversary as well. I kind of don't want them to because I'm still catching up on 20th.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And I also feel like, I don't know, I almost feel like for the US, like we would have heard about it by now. Like we would have heard about something in the works for a 25th anniversary of Sorcerer's Stone. I know it's a year away, but I feel like we would have heard.
But we knew about Brian Selznick, or that there was going to be something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I feel like there was such a big deal with the 10th anniversary, and that's when we got the special edition of Sorcerer's Stone. And we knew that something big was happening with the 15th anniversary when we got Kazukibuishi, and 20th. Mm-hmm. And I feel like 25 is a huge anniversary to be celebrating, and I feel like it's been a bit quiet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know either, especially now that Arthur Levine is out of Scholastic. I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know. I would take just one beautiful book. It doesn't have to be a whole set. I don't need a whole set.
It could just be a completely silver cover with like black text.
Like
that would be beautiful.
Wouldn't it? Oh, it'd be so great.
With like the chapter stars on it.
Or if it was just the like Grand Prix art, but it was done in like black and white, but it was like silver and black.
Or even just and change the foiling to silver instead of the gold.
Ooh, or take the 10th anniversary Mary Grand Prix cover with the Mirror of Erised, and then when you take the jacket off, instead of it being red and gold stars, it's red and silver stars, and they do the silver gilded edges like I said they should have done with this Philosopher's Stone book.
There you go.
I don't know why they didn't do it with the Philosopher's Stone book. That was an easy get.
It was such a missed opportunity. Really?
What a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was.
The silver anniversary.
We already know they know how to spray edges. They did that with the 20th.
Well, all of the house editions are all different colored edges.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we already know they know how to do that. Yeah, we already know they know how to do that. We already know they know how to gild edges because of the deluxe editions.
No kidding. So missed opportunity, big time.
Totally.
What do we know? We only buy all the books that they come out with. So
That's the thing. That's the thing. We're still gonna buy it anyway. Is the problem?
Yeah, we are. That's also true.
But you think, like, in the boardroom, don't you think there'd be at least one person there that's maybe there is, and they just got shot down. But they're like, hey team, don't you think we could do something a little bit more for this? Like, I'm a big fan of this book. It's kind of a big deal.
Harry Potter.
Is like,
gave
Harry Potter.
Bloomsbury its name.
Made us a bunch of money. Maybe we could spend some money to make a really nice book that people will buy. And we're like,
as long as this is bound better than the first edition, I'm gonna be happy. Like, just being honest. I mean, so we'll see. It already looks to be. I mean, it's not just glued in. It looks like it's sewn in. So there's that. So at least that's a start, right?
Well, I guess that'll be something that we will talk about at a later time.
Oh, we have more news.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we talk about the news?
And it's been a while since I've got to do this, so I'm actually really excited. I got 2 new signed books.
Woohoo.
I know. I got 2 J.K. Rowling.
Oh, well, that's even bigger of a deal then.
I know. It's been a long time since I've been able to buy a signed book, and I got 2 within a few weeks of each other. I found really good deals, and they're both, what is cool about one is a 99 signature and a later print, first edition Sorcerer's Stone, and it's got a dedication. It's to Kelly, and it's got a dedication. It says, "To Kelly, I met your uncle," which you don't see a lot of dedications in 99 books. And it's not the best 99 signature, but all of her signatures in 99 were a little bit wonky to begin with. But I was so excited to have found, I'm so excited to have found that. I bought it originally to resell, but I actually may keep it because you don't see 99 signatures with dedications out of the US that often. The other one that I got is actually pretty cool too. It's to Kristen, and it's a second print Sorcerer's Stone with the Guardian jacket, signed in 1998.
Ooh.
So that's really fun. I know. And it says, "To Kristen with best wishes." So that's really neat.
Oh, I love that.
Love a good best wishes.
And then I'm also selling a UK Bloomsbury Deluxe Edition Deathly Hallows.
Oh, I saw that on your Instagram. But you know what? I flipped by. I didn't realize you were selling it. I just flipped by the picture.
It is for sale. So you can message me on Instagram or that's where the sale ad is. That's the only place the sale ad is on my Instagram feed at All the Pretty Books. And if you're interested, it's over there. You can check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's my news. And, this is actually pretty nifty too. I was actually very happy for you, Erik. Oh, yeah. You got a Chamber of Secrets hardcover.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. Sorry, I was like, are we done with the news? No, I have news too, I guess. Yeah, so for the longest time, I still hadn't completed a original art Bloomsbury hardcover set for the first 7 books, which was wild. So
considering how many other books you have.
I know. Well, that's just not really my collection. So, I mean, for a while, I had like a Ted Smart Chamber of Secrets. I had a Canadian Goblet of Fire. So, I mean, like, I had all the books. They just weren't,
UK Bloomsbury.
Bloomsbury UK books, right? So,
and it's incredible how differently they're made. Like with the Ted Smart and the Canadians versus the UK Bloomsbury, very different.
Yeah, and I didn't really realize that until I started putting them side by side. Because, I mean, just when you look at the front, they all look like they're supposed to look with the correct art and everything. It's just, when you compare them to the other publisher-made books, there's that. So, yeah, my sister picked me up a Chamber of Secrets. It's in really good condition. There's a little fading on the spine, but I honestly feel like it's hard to find books from that period that don't have at least a bit of fading on the spine.
Especially considering the readership or the original audience for them. They were kids, and
It's a later print. It's like a 26 or 27. I can't really remember the exact print run. So it's not a first one, but I think they'd only published up to book 3 on the interior cover. So I don't care about first edition, first printing of that book.
Chamber of Secrets was so wildly popular the second it came out that the print runs on that got fairly high pretty early on.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I wasn't looking for a specific printing or anything. I just wanted a really nice copy of it. So it's in the condition to me was more important than the print. So I got it. It's on my shelf and it looks really nice. And it was really well taken care of. Like it's got plastic wrap around the front. It's got like a piece of paper behind the jacket. Everything's in really good shape. So it's nice. And I'm glad I've completed that. And now I'm kind of eyeing like my Order of the Phoenix because it's kind of not in great shape. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's one I have to get. But I know they made way more of those books. So they're easier.
Those are much easier to find even in first print than...
And my sister did go in a lot of bookstores in Ireland, Scotland, and in England, too, and said they really didn't have a lot of Chamber of Secrets books in used bookstores. So, I mean, I know there's some on eBay and stuff, but it's just nicer when you get to, like, pick them up and hold them and go, yeah, this is one I want, or no, this one's actually pretty crummy. I don't want it. So,
well, and it makes for a fun souvenir, too.
Oh, I 100% prefer people getting books in their...
Natural habitat.
I was going to say natural habitat. Yeah. Out in the wild.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my news.
Yay. I think that's all of our news.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the main event?
Dun, 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 dun. Rocky.
I was gonna say like maybe whatever you're listening to this on, like little like lasers start shooting out and like little fog kind of rolls out.
Pew 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 pew.
So, God, that's hilarious. So for our main segment this episode, we are going to talk about books, which is what we like to talk about. Yeah, books.
What? Books?
We like the books. The three of us were talking via text message, so I guess we were texting, but I guess that's still talking, about...
Communicating.
We were communicating. There we go. The three of us were communicating. And we were discussing kind of our favorite box sets of translations and I guess just Harry Potter books in general, because I'm looking at our list that we made, and one of them is not really a translation, but it's just a nice box set. So, we have 5. We're not going to talk about all 5 today, but we're going to start with one of those 5 in a series that I would like to call 5 box sets that we love and you will love too.
By Erik.
By Erik. By Erik K.
Right.
Mrs. Nichols' 5th grade class. Yeah. 5. So we normally don't talk about... Well, I personally don't like talk about box sets a lot because I don't have a bunch of them. However, when you're collecting translations, you obviously discover that there are some box sets that either have exclusive books inside of them that you can only get in that box set, or they come with just extras that are too good to pass up, just as a general Harry Potter fan, that I've acquired some of these. And I know, Melanie, you and Carly have, I think, all of the ones that we are going to talk about, and even the one today. I don't even have the one we're talking about today. It's on my to-get list, but...
I do. I love this one.
So good.
They take up space.
And you can find this one, not much, but you also don't collect later books for the most part. But this one you can actually find for not that much money.
That's true. So the box set that we're talking about today is the new Thai box set. Books from Thailand. They come in 1 through 7 in a glorious box, and we'll give you more descriptions about that. But I feel like it's worth mentioning that this box set is relatively new compared to some of the other ones that we'll talk about in future episodes of this main segment, 5 box sets that we love and you will love too, by Erik. So this Thai one is pretty new. It came out, like in the last couple of years, right?
19, wasn't it? Or...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
This was one when they revealed it and it was making the rounds on social media. I was so tempted to buy, but that was when I was in my old house. We didn't have a ton of space, and even in my new house, which we do have a lot of space, I still don't want to get on the box set bandwagon.
It's a slippery slope. It is a very slippery slope.
So that's where I feel like of these 5 that we'll talk about, if even one of them speaks to you, just having one of these sets, and there's probably more than 5, but one of these 5 is going to be enough of a showpiece to put on your shelf that is worth having in your collection. Even if you don't collect translations, even if you don't collect box sets, it's worth having 1 or 2 of these just because they are that cool.
The art is so incredible. But I say that about all of them, so really my opinion is
That's true.
a little bit biased.
Except for one book that we're not going to mention.
Oh, gosh. No, we won't.
We won't.
Oh, these books came out in 2020. Sorry.
2020. Okay.
2020.
Yeah, so that would have been like during my move, which buying books while you're moving is not necessarily...
Not recommended.
It's
not recommended.
It is counterproductive of exactly what it is that you're doing.
So I don't know. I feel like we should start with, I think, just a general description of what this set looks like. Who wants to try to describe it using only words?
I can't.
It's all I've got is words.
Yeah, well, you could do it in song, I suppose.
This set
Or in
is
limerick.
unique. This set is unique. All right, that's a good start to a haiku.
I have an ad from US Amazon that's in English that I could read.
Oh, that would be good.
Okay, so this ad says they're the Thai edition Harry Potter 20th anniversary books. We just talked about that, right? Like they're like, hey, 20th anniversary, we're gonna come out with these books, even though other publishers have already had their 20th anniversary. Anyway, the art is all done by Apolar. Any of you guys know how to pronounce that name?
Apolar?
Apolar. That's how I pronounce it, as Apolar Arch.
Apolar.
Yeah.
And it says this it's a 7-book box set with hardcover. The box came in the shape of a Hogwarts castle, remarkably painted with 4 house flags and images of 4 seekers. Included in this set are 8 giant postcards, absolutely free. Which, I love when they say it's free.
Do you think that they upcharged for the postcards?
Oh, I'm sure they did. And they had to have. I don't know. Does anyone want to describe what this set looks like? Because it folds out, and I feel like that's kind of the main draw to this thing, is that it folds out.
It doesn't fold out from the front, like what you would think, like where, like, I don't know if you guys have like the Johnny Dettle cover art or the Johnny Dettle box sets where like it has almost like 2 doors that you open up and there are your books right there. It's from the back, where the back of the box set has like these 2 little wings that come off from it. And then it has this little foldy piece at the top that comes up. I'm pretty sure there's also a magnet involved that holds everything.
There is a magnet
in place. Like, how cool is that? I feel like it's designed so you could take like your little Harry Potter dollies and like play Hogwarts with the back of this box set.
You could
while someone's reading them from the front, and you wouldn't interfere with each other at all.
Oh, not at all.
No,
not at all. But yeah, it has like the house banners kind of on the sides. And that's if you look at it from one angle. If you look at it from another angle, it's literally like Hogwarts. You can see all of the different rooms, which is really cool. And it looks like a magical castle.
So my question
it is beautiful.
For you two that have this, how do you display yours? Do you have your thing flipped open, or do you have it closed?
No, mine's closed. When I had it up on my shelves, just because I didn't want them to get damaged.
Because it looks like if you flipped the castle open, which is what I would want to do to display it, I'd probably just have the back of the castle displayed. It seems like it would be rather large. Like, would it fit in a normal shelf?
Probably not.
No.
You would probably have to put it on top of a bookcase. I have all of like the little flaps are like folded down, and I have it like any other box set on my shelves.
Yep.
So it's very unassuming, just on your shelf.
Yeah, like you would never know that it's like essentially a Hogwarts dollhouse on the back. It really is. Like if you and it's one of those things. It reminds me of like the Ukrainian edition where every single time you look at it, you kind of find something different. Like every single time you look at this box, you notice something different. And you see, like, here's Fluffy hiding out, and you see the Great Hall with all of the candles and all of these staircases, and here's the Slytherins over in this corner, and you have the Gryffindors in this corner, and Hufflepuffs. Like, it's just very, very intricate, which I wouldn't expect the box set to be anything but intricate, considering how intricate each of these covers are, because each one of these covers are so detailed. And again, it's another one you could stare at 1,000 times and find something new every single time you look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
So is there any, like, well, you get the free card. So the bonus content, I guess, is the little dolly house on the back, but you also get some like bonus cards that you can hang out.
The art from the 7 books. Yeah, it's the art of the 7 books without the words.
So what is on the 8th postcard then?
So, it comes with a little plastic pouch, and inside this little plastic pouch are big postcards. One of them is not a cover. It is a picture of Harry and Hagrid in Diagon Alley.
Oh,
to
that's
answer
fun.
The question of what the other image is. And you can see Dumbledore, and Dumbledore actually is holding the Elder Wand, which is pretty cool.
Whoa.
Little, like, movie reference. And then, yeah, I believe all of the other images are the cover arts. It's like the full image of the cover art. But they come in, like, it's just very well packaged to the point where, like, everything comes very pristine.
And the foil on the hardcovers is embossed where the title is. I think that's so cool.
I think something that surprises me about this is that before this set came out, like, none of the tie books, I mean, there was that gold edition that was impossible to get, but
right,
they didn't really have anything that was
unique covers.
Right. Or,
right.
You know, it didn't seem like they took the translations quite as seriously as, let's say, Germany. Right. But I mean, we can always compare it to Germany. And so it's just really cool to see, like, wow, like Thailand's like, you know, we're going in, we're doing it.
I'll also say, like, with this edition, when these books came out, it was a huge deal. Like, I remember when they came out, it was all over Wizarding World's website. It was advertised everywhere that the Thai 20th anniversary books were coming out. I feel like Slovak almost did that. Like, I feel like there was a bit of news when the Slovak books came out. But other than that, there have been a lot of other 20th anniversary sets, like we know, that have not had as much, like, publicity. And I feel like for us, some of the 20th anniversary artwork has been some of our absolute favorites.
Absolutely. I would agree with everything you said. And they just kind of snuck it in. Like, some of the 20th anniversaries are just like, oh, here you go. It's on the publisher website. And you're like, this is incredible. Like, I want to say the 20th anniversary Bulgarian did that.
Yeah, I feel like that was so hush-hush, and those are some of my absolute favorites. I even feel that way about the Lithuanian. I feel like Lithuanian, it was just like, oh, hey, did you guys hear that there are new Lithuanian books? Oh, better get those. And now they're out, and they are gorgeous, phenomenal books that I wish they got.
My feelings on them.
Oh, we don't even have to go there, but we can just say that they're absolutely, like,
they're fantastic.
Those are Carly's.
Carly's just, like, looking next to her.
They're definitely a favorite.
You're, like, looking on the chair next to you. It's just sitting there
longingly. No, I love those books. Pillow. They're so fun and so well done. But the 20th anniversaries, I feel like, for the most part, all of the 20th anniversaries brought amazing new art to the front.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that almost makes me, like, sad to think that they won't go as crazy with the 25th anniversary. Like, I would love to see a lot more new art. And there's a lot of untapped resources, I feel like, where they could do that because, you know, I can think of a lot off the top of my head as far as 20th anniversary brand new artwork that we've gotten, but there are a lot of languages that haven't done anything yet for anniversaries, and I hope they do.
I know I would not complain. But then some of these languages, we're just wanting them to finish the set in the first place. So however they do that is fine.
Well,
I know.
That's true. I feel like these anniversary books, or like, I mean, box sets in general, when they come up for anniversaries, when they give a unique art to a language that didn't have it before, like, what a great time to get into collecting translations. Like, if you're just kind of starting, because like we mentioned, I don't collect absolutely every edition of every book. I find that just to be kind of redundant. And I would much rather have a Thai book with this cover than one with, what do I have? I have a Kibuishi and a Johnny Dettle cover, which are cool looking.
But you've already got those covers.
But I've already got those covers, right? And I know they have a Grand Prix art as well for Thai. But if I was just getting one Thai book and I had the choice of all of the arts, I would pick this one. Even if it wasn't in the box set, I would pick just book one from this edition. So, you know, I think we'd agree with like Lithuanian, or Lithuanian would be the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Even, you know, so it's just it's an opportunity to really kind of get into translation collecting if the art is kind of more of your jam than actually just getting the language or the text block. So I know
or you can even, like, if you just wanted to do 20th anniversary books out of Harry Potter, you could easily do that because the art's so wonderful.
Oh, yeah, and that would look absolutely gorgeous on a shelf. Like, That's pretty amazing to think about.
And for those curious, if you hear squeaking in the background, my dog is currently killing his lamb chop toy.
Oh,
like lamb chops, like Sherry Lewis lamb chop?
Yes.
Oh, I used to watch that show.
Me too.
Me three.
But
I remember going to see her live.
No way, really?
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, when I was like really, really little, I remember going to the theater and seeing her live with Lamb Chop.
Did you sing the song that never ends, like, live in person?
It goes on and on, my friends.
Did you sing it at the show?
I probably did. I was probably like 2 or 3 years old when that happened, but...
Oh, but you still got to go.
But I do remember it. It is deep rooted as a memory in that brain of mine. I do remember
I'm so jealous. I am honestly jealous of that.
But you know what I'm jealous of? People that own this box set, because the more we look at it, the more I want to buy it. But then, like, looking at some of the other ones on our list here that I don't have, I'm like, well, I want to buy that one too.
But
I want to buy that one too.
This box set gets sweeter. We're not done yet.
I know.
It also offers amazing, like, the internal illustrations are as phenomenal as the external, just without color. But he spent so much time on the internal illustrations in this book. Like, it blew my mind. I actually made a video on it on my YouTube, and it blew my mind at how many internal illustrations were in each of the books. Like, he spent so much time depicting his favorite moments from each of the books. Like, he did the series justice, totally justice. He didn't skimp. He did great. So, I mean, the internal illustrations, too, are worth mentioning. I can't say that enough.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Carly, if you're out there like me and you don't have this and you're like, boy, I think I need this because that's kind of what I'm thinking, how would one go about acquiring this gorgeous box set?
This one, I mean, it's not easy anymore because the demand is so high. I've seen them around on eBay for, $400 or $500, and they're selling for that. They're not just being listed. They're selling for that.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's not going to be an easy acquisition, and they're not listed often. And when I've seen them listed, they're usually not there long. So it's one of those, it's a see it, buy it box set, I'm afraid.
But I think when we say quality of product that you're receiving.
Oh, worth it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, hands down.
Also, can we just talk about, like, these books have the roundest spines of all the Harry Potter books. Like, if there was an award for roundest spine, these books
all
would
I know, when Erik gets this book of book 1, we've got to do a tots for it because I want to talk about how it feels in the hand so badly right now.
I would be more likely, I think, to buy book 1 with this cover in Thai than I would be to get the box set, just based on.
Well, the hardcovers,
the
I
price.
believe, were only available in the box set. The soft covers were sold
man.
individually. Yeah,
Okay,
that's how they got you.
You gotta
They
get
had
the
a
box.
soft
They
cover.
know,
Yeah,
they know what people
they
like
had
me
a
are
soft
thinking.
cover box. Yeah, they had a soft cover box set, but it also didn't have the cool pullouts that the hardcover did. Like the hardcover is the one that is all the stops. They pulled out, all the 9s, all of it. They really did a great job with the hardcover. Soft cover is there. It features the art, which is great, but it's not the hardcover one.
They don't have the roundest spines.
No, they're very square, actually.
Which is probably good
But
for
fun
a soft
story, I
cover book.
actually have, yeah, if it were rounded, I'd be weirded out. I do have a soft cover tie featuring this cover that is signed by the illustrator and doodled in.
Well, that's exciting.
That's fun.
I know. Like, I fangirled all over his art. I love it so much, but I love the art of Harry Potter anyway. So, it's just wonderful.
Well,
I can't stop touching these books.
I know. I really want to talk about how it feels in the hand, and I can't. I'm bound because Erik doesn't own it.
Well,
I know.
if you want to talk about how something feels in your hands, we can move on to our next segment. Or is there anything else you want to add?
I mean, we
About
could
this
continue
box set.
talking about these for the next couple hours, to be very honest.
Yeah, I would also just add, no, we did talk about the cover art a bit. I don't know. I just feel like anything we say doesn't do it justice.
It doesn't. I mean, I did find something that the illustrator said when he was interviewed by the Wizarding World team. He said that he wanted the cover series to have a classic feeling, like it was made back in the golden age of illustration, and pay homage to the artists from that time. He said, I wanted the character design in this version to relate to both kids and adults, so it should not be too stylized or too realistic, but well balanced between the two. I also wanted the colors to express the themes of each book, so I tried to find new interpretations of them. And I also think it's neat that he pulled out all the 7 books. On the back has a zoomed in character on the top left corner. Book 1 is, of course, Harry Potter. Book 2, it's Jenny. 3 is Hermione. 4 looks like Ron. Luna's 5, and so on. Draco's 6. And yeah, I love it.
Huh.
Very, very well done books.
Who
yeah.
is? Oh, that's probably Neville. That's Neville on 8.
It's
7.
gonna be. He picked characters.
I was
that had,
wait, who is that? No, it's Neville because the snake
Neville.
is underneath it, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And he picked characters that had big moments in each of the books.
Yeah.
And I think that is so nifty that he kind of took Harry out of the centerpiece. Harry's still featured in all the covers, but he's not always the biggest figure on the cover either. I think that's really fun how he did that.
There's just so much going on and so much detail, and it's just beautiful.
I know. I mean, we could literally sit and talk about this for hours. So I'm going to say you need to buy the box set. Quite frankly, Erik, you're behind.
Okay.
Get with the program.
Okay. I mean, I feel like this comes up a lot. Of the 3 of us, I think I have by far the smallest collection.
Yeah.
But I have to be
you
very
have a really
choosy.
fun collection. You have a very fun collection, though. I like how you stick to your parameters. I actually applaud that as someone who is all over the board and collects all the things, although I've had to scale down.
That's true. I mean, I've said this before also, I do collect other things, like you mentioned. So I have to decide, do I want a Harry Potter box set that just looks really amazing, or do I want to get something for one of my other collections that I don't have yet that I need to finish that collection? So
I will say
hard.
this is probably a once-in-a-lifetime box set as far as how wonderful it is put together. It really does have everything in the box that you'd want.
Will you stop coming up with phrases to make me want to buy this? 'Cause
no, I won't.
it's a once-in-a-lifetime box set.
As far as
she says that
art and quality.
It's also available in Finnish.
But the covers aren't the same. And it's as far as I know, it's only they have the same art, but it's not as pretty. It's not as vivid in the color scheme. The covers don't feel the same in the hand.
No.
I was I was disappointed between the Finnish, even the Thai soft cover and the Finnish soft cover. I was disappointed with the finish comparatively.
Does the finish have the fold-out dollhouse?
No, not at all. I
Oh,
think they just have
okay.
books 1 through 3.
I mean, if I'm getting this, I'm getting it for the dollhouse, right?
I mean, if you're going to get it, you get the hardcover box set. Otherwise, you don't.
I'm going to make some little paper dolls.
And if you do just want the art, Brazil also released a Brazilian Portuguese edition featuring the Apolar Arch covers. But again, the box set is soft cover, and it's just the covers. It's not the rest of the stuff that goes with it.
But let's talk about something that we all have that doesn't cost a lot of money. In fact, it doesn't cost very much money at all, and that would be our translation of the show for this episode.
So for the tots for this is not even it's not really a translation. It's the 25th Anniversary Philosopher's Stone by Bloomsbury. So it's even in English, you guys. But we had to highlight it because we all have the book, which is great, Erik. And then it's just really fun.
And I will add, it's nice to talk about a book, and I know for a fact that all 3 of our books are brand new.
Are in our hand.
They're in our hands. They're brand new. We got them at the same time. So it's not like, oh, mine was probably in a grandma's attic for 5 years. Oh,
right.
I know. I feel like it's very, good.
This is rare. This is a great time.
It's very standardized.
Yeah. It's like we have a really good, baseline for where these books are, and I feel like we'll have the most accurate top score of all time with this book.
Gosh. Get that on a t-shirt.
We will, and we can actually see how different we are in our thoughts about things, because really when my book smells like it's been around a cigar-carrying reader for a little bit, and Erik's is in a musty attic, and Melanie's is pristine, it's hard. So this will be fun.
Yeah.
All right, so translator, we have none. It's in English, but it's still a fabulous book. The publisher is Bloomsbury, which of course makes sense. And, it's in English, like I've already said. So we're getting, I guess, right into the rarity of it. It's a 1. You can get it Amazon UK. I think Amazon US, although I've not looked. I got mine off of Book Depository.
Yeah, me too.
Me 3. It was at the time, I think I mentioned it was the best deal, with shipping to the US.
It was free shipping for it was just the cost of a new book. It wasn't much.
Right. I think I got mine for under $25, so
yeah.
Call that a win.
Yeah, I would agree. And value, whatever you can buy it for exactly at this moment in time, because it's still on the shelves.
I will mention on the inside of the jacket, it retails for £16.99 sterling. So
there's that. Quite a jump from the £4.99 that it originally listed for, hey?
Oh,
just
a
bit.
tad.
You're right. So we can, I guess, get into the rating scale pretty quickly, don't we think?
Yes.
We think yes.
Okay. I'm actually really excited about the first one, which is the smell. Oh. Because I've smelled mine a few times.
Hold on, I need a fresh take. I mean, the problem is that I can't give it an outstanding, because in my head there is only one that can get the outstanding. It doesn't even need, I was going to say it doesn't even need to be mentioned, but I feel like this is pretty close below that. For sure, and exceeds expectations. Yeah.
Well, that's why I was so excited to get into smell, because it's right between exceeds expectations and an outstanding for me. It's exceeds expectations plus. Yeah. Because I've honestly been having this up to my nose and smelling the book for most of our recording today, so I really like it.
I'm giving it an outstanding, and I don't know if it's because it's new, but I think it smells
No, I think
wonderful.
It's really good quality. I think it smells like a well-made book.
Yeah, so I'm giving it an outstanding. I think it's great.
And it's got that nice sweet smell to it. It's just nice.
Yeah, it smells new. Very new.
Yeah. Size and proportions.
So what did we give that? An E, an O, and an
E.
E.
I said
2
E
E's
and an O.
I said E plus, E between E and O.
You have to pick one. Johnny can't do in between.
It's like an E plus, Johnny.
Johnny's going to have to make another tab for E+.
I think we round down. I think we always have to round down.
Then I'm going to have to say an O. I'm sorry to Slovak, because Slovak is actually my favorite between the two. It smells sweeter and a little bit better, but this is also outstanding.
There you go. All right. I'm sticking with exceeds expectations, but that's
allowed.
very great. Thank you. Thank you for letting me have my opinion.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so we're on to size and proportions.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it an exceeds expectations. I love that it's thicker than
I was just
the
about
original.
to get into that.
Yeah, because it has a lot more information. That's the thing that like makes this book special, is that it has all of this added stuff. So that makes the book thicker, which I like. I feel like it's very nice for size and proportion. So
I would agree. I like that it's a little thicker. It's the same height. I wonder if it's the same width as the 20th anniversary, and I don't have mine to check, but I would love to know.
Oh, I don't.
But I like it. I think it's a fine book for what it is. I think it's great. I think the first book was very minimally, I forget how many pages were in the first, but not many. This one has a fair amount more.
This book, I grabbed one that is interesting. I don't know how to describe this one. The one, it's like the pencil art sketches from the UK.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like pink on the front, pink on the spine. This book is exactly the same size as that book.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
It's the same width. It's the same height. It's the same depth.
Okay, that's good to know.
It feels like the pages have the same amount. I mean, it's identical. So, to me, that's a good thing. I think the size and proportions are great. I would give it an outstanding. I think it's just, as a book by itself, I think it's really perfect.
Yeah,
I think.
I like it. I like it. How does it feel in your hand, guys?
Oh, I would give it an outstanding, honestly.
It's definitely an outstanding, yeah.
I feel like the addition of the thickness to it just makes it feel very, very nice in your hand.
And it's a good weight. It doesn't feel super heavy, but you also know there's a book there. It's got a nice rounded spine so you can grip it pretty nicely, like really nice. And the jacket is so nice and smooth too. So it's very nice.
It is. The jacket, I think, is what makes it feel so great to me. Like it's a thicker paper. It's a quality made book. So when
we're about to get into quality, so that's a great transition.
Qualitatively wise,
right?
That's a made up word. Then they feel great. So yeah.
So getting into the quality,
feel in the hand.
I would give it an O as well. I don't know if I said that. So jumping into quality, I give it an O. And did y'all see that they have a little discussion from Thomas Taylor about a brush with magic drawing Harry Potter on the very back of the book?
Yeah, so cool.
I know. And did y'all go so what's neat about this book is there's actually a little bit of internal art on the chapter headings. It's got stars and such, which is missing from the first edition entirely altogether, because that book was made a lot, fairly cheaply. They kept the cost of ink down by not having extraneous things. But this one, at the chapter headings, we have those cool little stars.
They're so cute.
I know.
You almost wish that this is how the first version of this book looked. I feel like we got kind of spoiled with the Grand Prix art as our first book to read it.
Yeah.
Because it just had those little, had little chapter stars, which some people like so much that they get permanently affixed to their body.
Yeah.
I did that.
I know, and it's great. But it's not out. It's not too much. It's minimal, which is not a bad thing. So I just think that's really special that that's in this book. I wish it would have been in the first one.
I would agree. And we got spoiled too by the Grand Prix books too. We got spoiled to chapter illustrations at the headers of the chapters by Grand Prix as well. And that's not in the first edition at all. The first edition, like we were just saying, is very simple.
Yeah, I mean, it's about as simple as you can get. It's like, here's the title of the chapter. Now read it.
Ta-da! There it is.
Here's the end. The book's over. Close it up. You're done.
And the end of the book has, like, the end of this book has the Hogwarts Express. I love it.
Well,
I can't.
I love that it finally also, like, in the whole blurb with Thomas Taylor, like, they finally explain the Brownbeard Wizard. Like, I feel like people ask us that all the time. Oh, it's supposed to be young Dumbledore, or it's supposed to be this person or that person.
So tired of the old or the young Dumbledore. Like, it's not young Dumbledore at all.
No.
And now they can read about it.
Now they can read all about it. It's so cool.
Yep.
I love the added information.
I'm not going to angrily tell people to read that at all.
I'm kind of shocked that they picked Dumbledore to be on the back of this book and not the Brownbeard Wizard.
Well, I think that we don't want the Brownbeard Wizard on the back. People would try to attribute more value to it than anything.
Yeah, to me though, like, the cover seems like it's supposed to be like a replica of the first version of the book, which was not Dumbledore on the back or on the spine. So
no.
I personally wish it would have been. I can see why other people would disagree with that, but I would have liked it to be the Brownbeard on the back.
I wouldn't have complained if it were, because how little do I complain about Harry Potter books unless it's very certain ones. But I kind of like that they did not. I like that they addressed the young, quote unquote young Dumbledore, the young wizard. I like that they addressed that by including that with Thomas Taylor stuff in the back of the book, and they still kept with the more ubiquitous Dumbledore.
That is fair. If they hadn't mentioned it at all in this book, I would have felt even more grumpy about it. But yeah, so I'm glad they included that.
So I think it's an excellent interpretation of the cover art, like we were just talking about. But it also, I do like that they included the 25th anniversary exclusive content sticker on the front to prevent any kind of confusion with the first editions. Because there's going to be people on eBay trying to sell these as first editions.
Oh, for sure.
And that is something like the sticker is not on the board, so they can take the jacket off and sell it as a weird edition, first edition. I don't know why it has all this stuff. So you just have to be on guard, because someone's going to do that.
Oh,
If they haven't already, it will be done. So for those out there, just if you see a first edition that doesn't look like a first edition, it's probably not. It's probably this. That's kind of the only thing I have to say about it. But I think the cover art looks like I expected it to.
What would you give it for a score?
I'm going to give it an outstanding, because I like the first one, and this is a retake of the first.
I agree. I couldn't have said it better. I like the original cover art, and this is the original cover art, and it's an outstanding.
I'm giving it an outstanding too, for the same reason. However, I think we mentioned, Melanie, you and I, the last time we talked, when Carly wasn't here, I just wish they would have done something a little bit extra in this anniversary book. And I can't let that interfere with like what I'm judging in front of me, because what's in front of me is spectacular. Dare I say expectations. Dare I say outstanding? I wish they would have done something a little bit different with it. So
I do like they return to the roots, though.
Yep,
I'll give it that.
Cannot complain about that at all.
No. All right, I think we've done it.
Yay! We did it. So that'll be all we have time for today. If you guys would like to get in touch with us, you can find us on Instagram as always. So you can find Carly at All the Pretty Books. You can find Erik at Nocturne Erik, or you can find me at the Harry Potter Collection. You can also find this podcast at Dialogue Alley Podcast. And that's where you're going to find pictures of these amazing tie books that we talked about today, as well as the new 25th anniversary edition and any other books that we've talked about on the show. That's where you're going to find those. But if you want to find any more pictures, you can always take a peek at either Carly or my website, which is either alltheprettybooks.net or theharrypottercollection.com. And you can also participate a little bit more with us by supporting us on Patreon. And when you do that, you get access to our Discord, which is a constantly flowing, phenomenal conversation that is had between all of these other Harry Potter collectors. We recently added a feature where there's a collection list where everyone kind of fills out on the list what books they have. So you could see really at a quick glance who has what books and who's missing books, and if you have books to sell or can help them find these books. It's just a really great resource all around for Harry Potter translation collectors. And it's a really cool, safe space to have Harry Potter conversations with other Harry Potter people. So, as always, we are super, super thankful to everyone that's supporting us on Patreon and that continues to support us on Patreon. We love that we're able to have something like this and give back to our fans. And if you want to join us on Patreon, you could do that by going to www.patreon.com/dialoguealley. As always, you can find Dialogue Alley, the podcast, like what you're listening to, the podcast. That makes it sound like it's like a book. Dialogue Alley, the podcast.
We could write a book called Dialogue Alley, the podcast, the book.
We could, and have pictures of the books we've talked about.
Oh, God.
And then they could adapt it into a movie. Dialogue Alley,
and then
the
it could be
podcast,
translated
the book, the movie.
98 times. That'd be great.
Yeah, and then we can collect those.
Oh my God, guys. Well, you can find us on Apple, on Google, on Spotify, on Pandora, on Audible. Your Alexa can play this podcast for you. Or you could just keep listening to us on your favorite podcasting hosting little spot, wherever you want. And if you like what you hear, please leave us a review and help spread the word about our podcast. With all of that being said, it is now time to walk back through the archway and into your daily lives, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.